What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. Hopefully, you all had a great Saturday hanging out with the family and with the kids. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it's not close. We call this episode the Sunday Brunch, but the good and bad thing about this business is you've got to answer for the work that you do, and we are the most transparent show. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Morning show yesterday, 2 and 3. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look back at what we hit. But this is the first. AB is so scrambled because of what happened last night in fighting. Horrible night in fighting. There's no getting around it. Just a complete miss all the way around. We will be better as we actively are working. The morning show, it was what it was, 2 and 3. Not bad. Not bad. But translation, those two full screens mean one thing and one thing only. It's a bounce back day here on the show and here at the brand. Get off those full screens, AB. Let's go. Let's bring in. Damn, you said on those things a long time. I know we want to be transparent, but damn. All right. Let's look forward because I don't want to look at those two ever again. Live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level. M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday brunch. Yesterday, I'm not going to talk too much about Victor Hovland. What a run he is on the last 2 days. Cam Smith really disappointed me there. But let's do it. Final round, Daytona 500. Awesome college basketball. It's going to be a great day.
By the way, if anybody was listening to Tiger Woods on the commentary yesterday, you heard why Joaquin Niemann is winning. Low ball flight, running. You talked about it, Mikey, a couple of days ago. These fairways are firing. So it's a shorter course for guys like Niemann. Translation, he's winning the golf tournament. All right. Also live from Nashville, Tennessee. But 8 floors below and apparently can't seem to hit a button to get off the worst day we've ever had in MMA ever. AB, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody. Look, I did it for the karma, right? Like, I did it for the show today. We sat on it. We ate it. We let it just absorb on us. But you know what? The best part about being in a janitor's closet is that you clean that mess up, and it's going to be a heck of a Sunday today.
Speaking of the janitor's closet, where are you at right now?
Yeah, so I mentioned this on the show yesterday. Friday night, we got a little rambunctious here in the janitor's closet, throwing a football inside the house. May or may not, but definitely busted out some lights under our normal area. So while that's under construction here, we are going on the side of the house.
Who are you throwing the football with, or were you throwing it at the screen when something didn't go your way?
Well, there's a little bit of A and a little bit of B mixed in there. So, yeah.
I think there's a little more of B than there is of A. Just a guess. Just a guess. You are too much, man. You are too much. I needed to smile this morning, and that certainly did it for me.
There we go.
All right. Now, live from New York City, Jay Smooth. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. I think AB is just taking these SportsLine Olympics a little too seriously, but happy to be here. Excited for some Sunday basketball. Let's do it.
Seriously? Taking it seriously? Taking it seriously would be wearing double ankle braces for the SportsLine. That would be taking it seriously. Oh, hey, Maestro. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. You know, I missed the NBA festivities last night, but people are telling me I didn't miss too much.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing I've ever witnessed in sport. If you could call it a sport. Although Karl Anthony Towns was plus what was he? Plus 1,400 to win the 3-point contest. And he cashed that ticket. But Maestro, you missed nothing. It is embarrassing what they've turned All-Star Weekend into.
So not even worth it to go back and watch the highlights of the dunk contest?
Highlights? Were there highlights? I don't know if there were highlights. I mean, everything is forgettable to me. Everything is forgettable from last night because you always teach me. I'm always looking ahead. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And where are we going to start? Well, we got to start just an hour from where I'm sitting right here and right now. It has been historic, the numbers that Mr. Niemann is putting up at the Genesis, and a little name that I told you about 2 days ago to keep your eye on. Of all years to break records, and he's like 3 shots behind or 2 shots behind is Cameron Young. It's amazing what's going on. Mikey, start us off.
Yeah, Cameron Young, 3 shots back here heading into the final round. We mentioned Joaquin Neiman a number of times. What's interesting about Joaquin Neiman yesterday was a kind of a strange round for him. He actually lost strokes tee to green, made a little bit up on the putting greens. But the crazy part about it is he lost strokes tee to green, and he still leads by a comfortable margin for the weekend in terms of strokes gained tee to green. Just had some incredible rounds there. But what I want to talk about is Viktor Hovland. Yeah, I bet against Viktor Hovland yesterday. He repeated that performance again, went 6 under yesterday. He's minus 13 in his last 2 rounds. That's what we forget, that poor first round at even par, or else he would be winning this golf tournament most likely. He's still live today. And then you saw some big names, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth really kind of struggled yesterday. JT got in the clubhouse with back-to-back birdies on the final 2 holes to keep a real outside shot alive. But look for this place to get really firm and fast on the greens. It's all going to come down to whether they can make those birdie putts and not turn them into bogeys like we see pretty frequently at 3 holes on this course.
$12 million purse, over $2 million to the winner. This tournament has really been elevated on the PGA Tour. These players want this one, and they want it bad before they head to Florida for the Florida Swing. I can't wait for the Florida Swing because I'll get to do the Players as my first event that I'll be doing play-by-play this year. Can't wait for that. All right, now let's get back to college basketball because the Big East, I've really started to get into the Big East. They've got some really good teams. They could do some damage this year in March Madness. Who knows? But the storyline for today, Jay Smooth, is what?
Yeah, Coach, I want to talk a little bit about this Providence versus Butler game here today. Providence has been maybe one of the most fascinating teams in all of college basketball. They just suffered their 3rd loss. They were actually 2 games ahead of Villanova, but then Villanova beat them. So this is actually a pretty interesting spot for them right now, trying to come off of that game, bounce back, going to Butler. But Butler has played pretty tough at home. But what I really want to talk about is this perspective that people have about Providence being lucky. They've actually had some results that people think maybe aren't totally legitimate. They beat Seton Hall when Seton Hall was decimated with COVID. They beat Wisconsin without Johnny Davis, and they beat UConn, which didn't have Adma Sanogo. So that was like, those are some gifts, right? But how they're going to do today, I think is actually going to be a tougher matchup people expect. There's a lot of money on Providence, so definitely be careful with that one.
All right, very, very good. You're right. Sometimes I turn those Butler scores on. I'm like, 80 to fit. What? Yeah, I can't figure them out. All right, let's stay in college hoops because sometimes you have teams that are really, really good that maybe even be in the top 10 that nobody is talking about and nobody is paying attention to. Kind of like how we treat AB around here. AB, what do you got?
Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, I'd feel strange if I were treated any other way. So that's how we need to go about it. Look, keep an eye on Texas Tech down the stretch here, right? They are 4th in the country against the spread percentage this year, and they've been up there. That's no surprise. What it is, they're 70% against the spread this season. Their average margin of victory is nearly 13 points per game, and we're seeing them do it in conference. And as each game gets more important, for seeding purposes, just keep an eye on them because these boys, these Red Raiders, man, are rolling over everybody.
And they are not scared to go on the road and get it done either. This is a really good, strong, tough-minded team. They don't play super fast pace, but they are tough, and tough translates to March Madness. All right, now, the other thing that is also going to affect March Madness, a great deal we know is injuries. Maestro, you're up.
Yeah, 3 injury spots I'm looking at today. One in that Butler-Providence game, you talk about Bo Hodges, the senior. You know, they beat Marquette. He had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. He got hurt in that game, didn't play against DePaul. They did squeak out a win, but then they get blown out by St. John's. Will he come back today? Butler obviously needs him. And another senior for Butler, Bryce Enzi, he is playing hurt on a knee injury. Looks like he'll play, but he was limited last time, only 6 points, 2 boards against St. John's. So if you have Butler, you want to make sure that Hodges is in the lineup. And then the second guy that I'm talking about today, John Newman for Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati got a nice win over Wichita State, laying 6.5 to Temple. Temple's pretty feisty, and they have a very good defense. This seems like a lot of points. John Newman is one of their glue guys. He plays 26 minutes a game. Does not look like he'll be able to play on an ankle today, so I'd be careful. I'm going to look at Temple in that game, especially if it gets to 7 or 7.5. And then the other one, Michigan has a lot of momentum right now. They're getting 2.5 at Wisconsin. Big game today. but looks like they're going to be without one of their key reserves, Terrence Williams. Now, he did miss the last game, and they were able to win without him, but they have a very thin bench, Michigan does. So I'd feel a lot better backing Michigan if he's back.
I would as well. But do you know the one way that you can guarantee that you know what picks Maestro is going to play after these injury news comes in? Do you know how you can guarantee that you know exactly the games that he's going to be on? Become a SportsLine member. Use that promo code EDGE. I'll give you 30 days for free. I'm good. I'm going nowhere. We're going to give you 30 days for the rest of your life. All the cappers, all the simulations, all the information, which, as you know, it's not 100% foolproof, but it helps educate and entertain. Let's get into our board for the day. We got 2 plays from SportsLine. First one from our guy, the guru, Martin W. Green. I encourage you to follow him and Buckets on social media. They've been killing it as our 1-2 soccer punch. We're going to go Inter Milan and Sassuolo, 12 p.m. Eastern on this game, -140. We're going to go both teams to score. And the reason we're doing that is because Inter is pretty good, but their defense lately has been allowing goals. We think 1-1 is a great way to enter our day on the pitch. Then we're going to go Team LeBron in the NBA All-Star Game. I know that's degenerate level. Well, that's how we are sometimes. Sometimes we got to sink down to a degenerate level. We'll go Team LeBron -5.5. Now, since they have changed to this ridiculous format, Team LeBron has won every single year, all 4 games. He's going to make it 5 because this is where he shines the most. We're going to go Team LeBron -5.5. I'm going to give you all the reasons. Doesn't matter. It's the All-Star Game. But we'll play Team LeBron for something to root for. All right, now, you know I've got 4 of my favorite cappers in all the world. It is Sunday brunch. And when you have a bad day, sometimes you got to pick yourself up. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? This is a new day. We got to line in the sand, and that's exactly how I feel right now. So M squared, you know the drill, son! Oh, give it to me.
All right, let's head to the Daytona 500. And I want to caution here, I'm playing these at a quarter unit each. The super speedways like this are the closest thing motorsports sees to a random number generator. It doesn't mean there's not an edge. There is still an edge finding them, but there's a lot of variance on these super speedways. We're going to take Austin Cindric +105 against Chris Buescher. Both of these guys are in Ford cars. However, Cindric is in much better equipment, in my opinion. He is new to the Cup Series. Xfinity Racer had a ton of success there. With the new car here, there's not a real distinct advantage for Buescher being already an established Cup driver here. I love Team Penske. I love the Fords. I love the way that they're going to work together here. Their cars, in terms of the aero package that they have, they're able to draft and pull away as groups a lot better than some of the Toyotas, for example. But I like Cindric here, +105. He's someone we'll routinely be seeing -125, -130 in this similar matchup later this year as he's more established in the Cup Series. And then my other play, Cole Custer, -105 against Eric Jones. Same thing here. Eric Jones, obviously no longer with Joe Gibbs, not in the Toyota, doesn't have as strong of a team. Cole Custer in the Ford. Really expect the Fords to work together well today. Both of these guys, Cole Custer starting near the back of the pack. Don't worry about that at a super speedway race where you can move 15 positions in a lap pretty easily the way that they draft here. But I love Cole Custer, -105 versus Eric Jones.
I love that play too. Now, before I move on, Mikey, I'm going to need your help with something because we all love to get paid when we have a showdown bet, correct? Correct. We normally pay each other, right? So Chad in the chat says, someone please let the machine know which way the SportsLine model is leaning on his pick. I don't want another Nebraska, LOL. Now, if people remember, sometimes I have to step up to the plate. Sometimes, as the person who runs the show, I have to step up into a showdown. We had the first ever showdown chat showdown ever. And I remember specifically saying that the person I had the showdown with needed to type something in the chat in order to make it official. Mikey, do you remember that?
I remember that.
Okay. So because I'm bringing you in because I need you to be the judge of this, and also it's because it's your boy up there in the right-hand corner. Was that or was that not an official showdown for the show?
I mean, you typed in the chat, it's got to be an official showdown for the show.
And he typed, play the music. Did he not, AB?
He did, sir.
Okay. Maestro, you're the OG. You shut. You don't say anything. Maestro.
I thought this would have. Yeah, I thought this would have been taken care of a while ago. This should be done, and in everyone's account. It just we should be on to the next one.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I just wanted some feedback this morning. That's all. Okay, we'll move on. You're right, Maestro. We need to move on. All right. So Jay Smooth, it's your show. It's your brand. You can do whatever you want. You can pay or not pay, whatever. But what do you have for us today, sir? I'm just gonna lean back and let you have the show.
Coach, look, just drop the Cash App, and I got you. Just have some nice content.
Cash App.
Oh yeah, I'm banned from Venmo, man. I'm totally. I got kicked off the platform.
Oh my God, I got to seriously rethink this entire brand. I really did. Anyway, give us your pick because I just threw me Cash App. Oh my God, they're not even a sponsor on the show. Go.
No, I know. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to it. Obviously, I will get Coach's money. That was a great call. Thank you for getting the show a win. And Nebraska obviously let me down on Friday. That was terrible. I don't even want to talk about it. But anyway, I'm going to go with an over today. I got this Stony Brook, the Seawolves. What a great team name. They're going to go over 145.5 today is where the line's at against Hartford. I love this pick. I love finding these games where the teams have decent offenses and abysmal defenses. Both these teams, bottom 50 defenses in the country, but their offenses top 2 and 3 in this America East Conference. So they should be able to find the basket without really having that much of an impedance on the defensive side. Hartford actually allows one of the fastest paces as a defensive team, and Stony Brook's going to happily push it. These teams actually just played on Friday when I lost that Nebraska pick, but they played on Friday and the game had 98 second half points. The total reached 170 points, and Vegas is actually going back basically with the same line they hung. 144.5 is where I played it. I think this one goes over. My model's at 151. Mike's model and Ken Palm 155. We have great model edges. I love the play. Let's book it.
I love it too. I'm certainly not going to question you on this one because I actually love this play too. So we can all roll together, which I love. I love that more than anything. All right, now AB, you got a big old smile on your face. Your hair's starting to grow back. You're feeling good today. What do you got for us?
Yeah, feeling great. And I'll tell you what, speaking of Chad in the chat, he said I look like I'm getting my picture taken for my driver's license, which is actually hilarious. It's spot on, but it's a good thing because we're taking Houston -7 on the road today. I'll drive the bus. This is seeding time for the big boys here. 63% against the spread on the road this year. 14 covers as a favorite. We're rolling with Houston -7. We're also going to take Mississippi State -4.5 against Missouri. Look, these teams just played. Mississippi State handled their business, won, covered. They're going to do exactly the same thing. They're 66% against the spread as a favorite, 75% against the spread on short rest. And Mississippi State, if you watch them this year, earlier to mid through the season, they have found every single way not to cover games, and it's turning around back. The karma is real with this team. They're feeling good. They'll handle their business once again today.
This scares me to death because of what you just said. Every time I bet on Mississippi State, it's like, they're really good until they're really not. All right. Now, I tell you, when you do a 7-day-a-week show, 365 days a year, you start to fall in love with teams that maybe you normally wouldn't. You start to fall in love with conferences that maybe normally you wouldn't. And teams like Cleveland State, the Vikings, become somebody you talk about all the time. And I want to talk about them right now. Maestro, you're up.
The Vikings are on the road at the Phoenix, who are 4-22 and have lost 9 in a row. And the Vikings lead the conference 77 points a game. The last 2 games, the Phoenix have scored 44 and 55. At Cleveland State, they made the tournament last year, returned everyone, 5 senior starters, 14 letter winners. I love this team. You've got Hodge and Patton are like the big scorers, but now this guy, Trey Gomillion, looks like a football player, played football in high school. He is coming on 20 points, 14 points last 2 games. Actually, last 6 games, he has not missed a tray. He's very selective. He's 6 of 6 from deep over the last 6 games, at least 3 assists in every game. He's one of those glue guys. It looks like a football player, plays like one. Just love this Cleveland State team. They beat them 85-69 at home. I think we're looking at something similar. Don't think there's a huge home court edge for the Phoenix. I'm going to lay 9.5 with Cleveland State.
And damn it, I'm going to lay 9.5 with you, Maestro. We're rolling all day together. But Jordan in the chat asked the question we all are wondering. How in the hell do you get banned from Venmo? What in the world could you possibly have done? And we do not have time for the story, but I am interested in the story, but I don't have time right now. But how in the world do you get banned from a platform that all you're doing is sending money back and forth? That's crazy. That is crazy.
Tell me.
We're going to leave that as a dangler tease for the next show. How did you know what? Nah, that would probably be too many. Never mind. I was going to do a little contest, but I'm not going to do that. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it looks absolutely glorious. A full day of all kinds of different sports. Maestro's on Cleveland State, -9.5. M squared, couple plays, not full units, however, in the Daytona 500. These are our fun plays of the day because they could have a great day and on final lap, get into one of those big wrecks, and then it could all go away. So be very careful how you bet these head-to-head matchups. Then, Jay Smooth, you heard all the numbers. They just played. They sailed to the over. Let's do it again. Over 144.5, Stony Brook and Hartford. Then AB, 2 college basketball plays. Houston -7, Mississippi State -4.5. Then 2 plays from SportsLine. Inter Milan to swallow. Both teams to score. And then the All-Star game tonight. Team LeBron, since they've gone to this type of game, LeBron has covered 4 times in a row. Let's make it 5. Then the AB3. If you can follow him on social media, he's all over college baseball. Florida on the money line. Stanford on the money line. Vanderbilt on the money line. You put those 3 things together, plus 167. And I'm here for college baseball to get started because guess what? The big boys don't seem to be wanting to get along. So they're not going to be playing for a while. So we'll bet on college baseball. We don't care. All right, it's a new week. We forget about all the bad stuff, and we just look forward. Just one more week in this beautiful month of February. And there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all, even Jay Smooth. And Maestro, M Squared, AB, and of course, the Jewelers always lurking as our executive producer. Oh, always putting it together at the brand. Tell all your friends we're here every single day, every single sport, educate and entertain. Let's do it together at the Early Edge. Good luck.